MLK said that we need a revolution of values. The RFK deal as it currently stands is not an equitable deal at all and does not value the residents surrounding the stadium who are against the parking arrangements, nor the citywide taxpayers who are expected to pay housing costs in one of the most expensive cities in America but are being burdened with giving billionaires free rent, giving them the sole rights to the land surrounding the campus stadium to develop for $1, only to accelerate gentrification and displacement. This would be one of the largest public subsidies in NFL history, and none of the revenue would be shared with the city. Make it make sense because the math ain't mathing. MLK also said that we have socialism for the rich and capitalism for the poor. No taxpayers' money should go to the Washington Commanders' new football stadium in one of the poorest wards in the nation's capital without addressing major inequities that exist. Ward 3 has 15 grocery stores and Ward 7 has only 3, despite having a larger population than Ward 3. If an undeveloped mind is devoid of key nutrients, they are prone to violent behavior, and most of the children in DC live east of the river in areas known as food deserts. DC has over 40 bookstores, and for over 25 years, no bookstores east of the river. Ward 8 now has 2, and Ward 7 is now the only ward in the nation's capital without a bookstore. Despite the fact that there's a direct link between crime, violence, and illiteracy, DC has 2 times the national illiteracy rate. This rush deal for the RFK Stadium with public funds is projected to break ground and be completed by 2030. Yet DC Water has been changing the goalposts on the deadline to replace lead pipes in this city and now currently has set it at 2037. Let's be clear. We all know where the last of those lead pipes are. We all know who are most likely not to have water filters in their homes. But know this, lead pipes not only are detrimental to the cognitive development of children, it also contributes to violent behavior. So the city has determined that they can secure a deal and build a new stadium at least 7 years before it can even provide clean and safe drinking water to all of its residents. We truly need a revolution of values. I have listened to countless testimonies today wanting to see the NFL return to DC, but this is not a tailgate party. Most of them have not even read the details of this deal. They are distracted by the bread and circus nostalgia of football. But just like Councilmember Kenya McDuffie said, this is bigger than football. This is about the best equitable deal for all DC residents. If the NFL wants to play, they need to pay. In order to achieve that, a racial equity lens needs to be applied. The Office of Racial Equity should be consulted in this deal. 50% of the RFK campus development should go to the Douglas Community Land Trust to ensure that true affordable housing at 30% of residents' income is delivered now and not just promised by 2040. We should cut at least 50% of the planned parking development and subject the designs to the approval of those surrounding residents. We should instead invest in WMATA, and who should be included to increase metro access to alleviate traffic and pollution to the area. Socialism for the rich and capitalism for the poor is not the recipe for community development when you are transferring the collective wealth of working class residents to billionaires. Stan Mays, a longtime DC resident and business owner, owns 2 homes in DC and was struck with vacant property taxes on his second home under renovation, ultimately amounted to $100,000. To pay this sum, he took from him and his wife's retirement fund so he could preserve their dream. Nevertheless, the oppressive tax assessment reoccurred again, costing his family another $100,000 with more penalties to come. The notion that this DC resident, who is risk of losing his second home due to punitive property taxes, will pay more than billionaire Commanders owner Josh Harris, who is not only exempt from property taxes, but will receive billions from taxpayers, is both immoral and insane. Just like Dan Snyder, who said, now formally erase his name, just 2 seconds, we changed the name. He said he would not change the name, and you can put it in all caps. And we know what happened. I'm here today to say that change may be inevitable, but simply continue to go through the change. We're here to redirect the change, and this rush deal needs to change. Thank you.
Ronald Williams.